Hello and welcome back to another MVP interview for OCN. This week I am here with the rookie of the season. It is the one and only Jigsaw. Mate, how you going?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Dev?
I'm very good, thank you. You are kind of a new player to this level, so perhaps you could give a little bit of an introduction.
I've shot out of nowhere, I'm not going to lie. I was in Skyfire, which was LPL Pro, which I don't know, you could consider that CL at the time or whatever it was. It was late 2017. I don't remember where I seen the game. I think I watched Serenity 17 and he's playing Cav. And I don't know what it was about the game. I loved it. And that's why Cav's my second most played operator still to this day. Obviously that's not in custom games because she's not in a very amazing pick. But yeah, I came in late Velvet Show and played for a while, but I stopped playing and then came back because I was going in between Siege and CS because I was playing both of them, or wanted to play both of them competitively. So I was going back and forth between them. And then I think probably, when I hit Skyfire, I started saying I'm not going to bother quitting anymore because if I keep stopping, going back, I lose the consistency and I start to, unknow all the things that I've learnt and what's going on with the meta and etc. So yeah, I've been in a lot of teams beforehand, obviously, but nothing remarkable or anything crazy. It was just a player for random teams and Pugstar, and just known as a decent gunner by a few people. So going from where I've been to where I am now, extremely fast, has been a pretty wild ride, but I've been enjoying it through the whole entire process and pretty happy with my performance and everything going on so far. It's been a pretty good damn time. I've had a lot of fun with it.
How have you found the support from the community?
Pretty good. I'm surprised. I thought everyone was just going to be sitting there Refix, because everyone loves Refix. Good looking individual and he's just absolute gunner. But it's been pretty evened out, honestly. I've been watching the games back and chats saying this and that. It's been a lot of fun to watch back. I love watching the games back and hearing the casting, and when one of us does something, the whole chat's those are the Bliss boys, that's the boys. It's really hard to watch back. I love watching it back. It's a good time.
You're actually the second MVP so far that's been from Bliss, but we've never had the same person, the same MVP twice in a row. Do you think maybe you could change that?
Definitely feel like I could. I definitely am trying to play to my highest performance every single game. Unfortunately, some things don't go your way, but I'm definitely trying. I'm hoping that I can be MVP twice, maybe even another time. You never know.
Do you feel extra pressure knowing that you're the newest and youngest member on what is now the number one team in OCN?
Not really. I've always had my own little saying is that the more you're scared and the more you're nervous about who you're versing or who you're with, the worse you play. So I've just always learnt to put that behind me and just play to the best of my ability and not worry about the extra factors, because the more you worry about things, the shakier you'll get, the more nervous you'll get, and you just won't play to your performance. So I've always just learned to deal with that, and I do that pretty well. That's why I'm able to consistently play at what I play. So that's one of my strongest points.
You're one of the best entry fraggers statistically in OCN at the moment. Could you give me some insight into your process? What are the most important skills that you have in order to get those opening frags?
Obviously, aiming is a big thing. Having strong aim and being able to know that you're going to be able to frag these players is a big thing. That I don't know, a lot of people realize, but not enough people realize that Siege is a very, very big mentality game. And one reason why I have my HP turned off is so that I'm not sitting there stressed about other things. I'm more, I'm thinking about the gunfight that's coming ahead of me, and not worried about who it is or what I'm going up against. All odds that aren't in my favor don't worry me. I'm just completely confident that I can take this gunfight and I can win it. And yeah, mentality is one of the biggest things for me. Just being able to be confident in my own ability and my team's ability is a huge thing. No mistraining, no whiffing, no etc. Other things. Just always focused on my own self and having extreme good confidence, and that's pretty much like honestly the biggest thing with me is I just am extremely confident in my own ability, so I'm never worried about going into a gunfight.
Interesting that you said you play with your HP turned off. Are there any other quirks that you might have in your settings?
That's probably one of the biggest things. I can't think of another thing that's too big, but having HP off well, having HP on and seeing it low when you're going into a gunfight is like that extra layer of like, oh, this might not go my way. So having it turned off and not knowing is kind of like, oh, I can swing, be confident that there's not another layer of fear that I'm going to die to like a straight bullet. I'm just going straight for the head. You know what I mean?
That's really cool. And I've heard some other people have said that they play with it off. I've personally never tried it, and I kind of want to now. Like, I think you might have me convinced. So in Stage 1, Bliss went out early in the playoffs despite a really strong regular season. What's going to make Stage 2 different?
I think we've just been playing a lot. We usually day scrim and then we night scrim when we can. Obviously, sometimes people are busy or we can't find a scrim, whatever, but we're always making sure we can play together. And I feel like that's a big difference as to what was previously Bliss when I wasn't in it. I think there was a lot of problems with scrims not being able to be held, people not being there on time, or always being problems and having to cancel and stuff. I think we're really good at being able to be there and know we're going to be there and know that if we're not going to be there. So we're never messing around. We're always playing, always grinding, always working on things. And I think just working together as a team and playing together as a team consistently makes you very, very strong. And I feel like anyone can do this and anyone can come out very strong. It's just a matter of doing it. And I think that's a big difference. And we've been focusing on trying to play a little bit more aggressive and, doing a little bit more randy things because we can do it because we've got extreme frag power. Like Repix and I, like obviously pretty damn good at gunning, as I could say myself. And we hype each other up a lot. Like even in the 5v3 against Order, and when it was 7-7, I was like, gave it 10 seconds. I said, boys, like we're down 2 picks. Don't stress. Watch games if you're dead. The rest of us go to see if you can find a pick. I'm gonna go down white. Managed to pick up Nico, I believe it was, off guard, and then I think Todd picked up one as well, and then it was instantly back to a 3v3. Like it's another thing back to mentality is that everything is like it's not always done. Doesn't matter like how many, you can always bring it back. I think that's a big difference with us is we're just very confident and we play a lot together. So that's, a massive thing.
Wow, that's a really cool insight into the process. And people always say it's all about the mental, and I think you're just living and breathing that mantra, which is awesome. Really cool. It sounds like you have a really packed schedule in terms of your team practice. What about your individual practice? What other things do you do to make sure you stay at the top of your game?
Usually before game days, I will play an hour or a couple hours of just aim training, or I'll play Terrasun a lot. Like Terrasun doesn't do a lot, but it's it warms you up for the game. And I like to play a bit of rank beforehand as well, just so you can get used to people moving and shooting people moving. That's why I usually stream on the day beforehand, or the day of the game. I'll play a lot, just build that consistency over the day, and just being able to know that I'm not going to be rusty or I'm not going to be whiffing, and that I'm at the top of my game because I've been warming up all day, so there's no excuse. So if I do play bad, it's just me. So not a lot going into it. It's just basically just playing the game. Like that's a big key. Just consistency is everything really.
It sounds like it's a lot of just pure hours that you're putting into it by yourself or with the team. So yeah. I'm interested, what other things do you do outside of Siege? Do you have many other hobbies? Do you have other things that are going on?
Not many really hobbies. I talk to a lot of mates online, and then I go out on the weekends if I can, if I'm not scrimming or if I'm busy. I pretty much do nothing but Siege and talk to friends. That's my lifestyle really. I enjoy it obviously. Yeah.
I love it. I'm interested, how do you think that Bliss would size up to the other teams that are in APAC South at the moment?
I think we could do pretty well. I think that Specker said, which really came to me as well, was in his talking last night with you guys was the play style is very different. So I can imagine, like you said, playing in two different leagues is very weird because we don't play in another league, but we scrim Asian teams as well. So it's difficult at the start to sometimes like adjust to what they play like, because they play like very, very hyper aggressive. Like 30 seconds into the round, like the outcome can be pretty much determined because it's so aggressive. But yeah, I feel like we definitely could play very well against them. It's just a matter of if we're ready for it at the time, which is isn't too hard. We just have to get more Asian scrims, which we do. We do Asian scrims a decent amount. If we can't find a late Australian scrim, we'll usually get a late Asian scrim and we'll play that. Or like I said, if we play in the day, it usually is always an Asian scrim because a lot of AU teams don't play during the day, or if they do, it's people that we're versing in the stage, so we also don't want to show them stuff. But yeah, I think we could definitely shine in there as well if we were to play our cards right.
Looking back at OCN now, which team do you reckon is going to be the toughest competition for you guys in the current stage right now?
I feel like Chiefs are definitely obviously the stronger team that we're going up against soon. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Honestly, I'm pretty hyped for that game, if I can say so myself. It'll be a good time, I reckon, a good watch. But I think obviously in playoffs as well, Knights are going to be back there. I feel like when we versed them, they definitely went up to par with what Knights can do. Like, I have a lot of respect for Knights. They're a really, really good team. I think that they're going to come back a lot stronger. So it's just we're going to have to come back a lot stronger as well, stronger than we are already, and make sure we're at the top, very, very top of our game. So Knights and Chiefs are the ones we're looking at, honestly.
With Bliss, it's clear that your current priority is staying at the number one spot, OCN, and then of course at the end of the year, perhaps getting promoted into APAC South. But I want to ask individually, what are your goals within esports?
I just want to be able to play and know that I'm playing very well. I don't want to be just like another player or another person you look at and be like, oh yeah, he's just a player. Like, I want to be like, oh, a star player, something else. Like, I want to be special. I don't want to be just known as another player. Like I said, I want to be able to pull off insane things and be able to be known as, something different, like just an alien. I just want to be able to make sure that people know that I'm just not another fragger, that I'm actually a strong fragger. I think I'm doing a decent work of it right now. I just got to keep that consistency. That's a big goal for me. It's just being something else, being different, being able to know I'm playing at the top of my game and people enjoy watching it. So that's a big goal for me. And playing internationally one day, that'll be pretty big. Being able to play the game for a living and stream on the side if I need to, stuff like that. That'd be amazing, honestly. Big goal, but I know it's something you can work towards.
I think you're pretty much already achieving your number one goal there, and that second goal that you mentioned, I have no doubt that you're going to be on track for that, dude. So thanks so much for coming and chatting to me today, and good luck in your coming games.
Thank you. I appreciate it.